What's up, guys? Turn it just a little. Hello. I don't know. It looks so like blue. I don't want it to. I don't want it to be this blue. I want it to like. I don't know. Oh well. This is fine. This is fine. How's everyone's day? Can you guys hear me? Oh my God! It looks the quality. Oh my. What's up, Beckham? Beckham and Lucas. We got Beckham and Lucas in here. How are you guys? Merry? No. Happy New Year's Eve. Jared, what's up, Jared? Jared and another, oh wait, Luis, not Lucas. Lucas, Beckham, Jared, Luis. Beckham, what back wheel did you go with, man? I know we were talking about back wheels last time. Oh, look, you just told me. Beckham got a BSD Swerve cassette and the BSD XLT rim. That's sick. I think my friend had the BSD XLT rim. Those things, they're super wide. If it's the one I'm thinking of, they're really wide. So you're gonna like that. It's gonna put a lot of tire over the ground. So you're gonna get a lot of grip. Now, if it is the really wide one that I'm thinking about, anytime you ding your wheel and your wheel gets a little bit of a hop, it's going to be really close to rubbing on your frame. But I think it's good. I think you're gonna be stoked. Okay. Before everyone gets in here, we got to shout out the first few people. Lucas says fire emoji, and then he said fire, 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 fire. Beckham says hey. Jared says what's up, my guy. Lewis says yo. And then Beckham told us about the wheel. Samuel, what's up, Samuel? The cube guy. Samuel, we haven't seen you in here in forever, man. Happy New Year's, dude. Happy New Year's. Luis made a firecracker. Beckham, okay, we got that. We got that. Lucas, and I think that's about it. For yeah, okay. So this is you guys are awesome. Right on here on the live. So we didn't do the live this morning. I always got to start the live off with a story, but so 2 days ago, I drove to Arizona, to Tucson area. That's where my mom's at. Anyway, I had to go get a root canal because I have this. So I'm just going to start. I always start it with a really long story. So what's up, Antonio? So this is the long story. Long story short, years ago in Montana, I had a cavity in this side. I was eating a Cheeto. The Cheeto got stuck in the hole. I popped the Cheeto out. I stuck my finger in there, popped the Cheeto out. Half of my tooth fell apart, and I said, "Oh my God, that sucks." But then I just carried on for a long time with it broken. I just be kind of careful. And then at Woodward, I was eating ice, and the whole tooth just fell apart. And it was weeks before I was going to go to England, and I didn't want to go to England with messed up teeth, but I didn't have dental insurance. So anyway, I got a root canal before I went to California. It was like $1,100. My grandpa paid for it. Shout out grandpa. That was great because I already didn't have any money to go to England. And then I got the root canal. Okay. And he didn't do a crown because crown would have been very expensive. So he did a root canal, and then he put a bunch of like filling on it. He layered a bunch of filling on this side. He said, "Don't eat on this side." I said, "Okay." So then I went to the UK, and I was only supposed to eat on this side. And Marie, I was staying with family in the UK, and all they had was crunchy peanut butter. And I was too, like, I wouldn't say, "Hey, what if we got smooth peanut butter instead?" And I just ate the crunchy peanut butter. No big deal. But anyway, over time, the crunchy peanut butter got a cavity on this side and like messed up this side really bad. And so then I just ate on this side, even though I wasn't supposed to for like years. Then this tooth did the same thing as this tooth. It fell apart. And so anyway, I had to go to Arizona to get a root canal because it started to hurt. It's been years messed up, but not hurting. So got the root canal. It was half the price over there than it is here. So I just went and did that. And then I got back here, back in New Mexico at like 3 a.m. after spending yesterday with my brother and my mom. So it was a very fun day. I have a video of me trying to eat chicken after my root canal because I got in my car. I ate like a pork rind thing, and I was like on this side, right? And I was like, okay, that's not bad. I can do that. except when I started eating Popeyes, like I forgot how to chew. My tongue was all over the place and I'm like biting my tongue. It was a terrible experience. But anyway, I got back here early this morning, 3 a.m. And at 11, I was like, I do not feel like doing the live. So I hung out, edited some videos and worked on some stuff. And then I was like, you know what? Let's go live. So that is my very, very long story. I hope in that amount of time that I was telling stories for you guys, I hope you guys came up with some questions, because that's what this is all about. We got to answer some questions. We got 1,000 people watching. So if you guys, hit the like button, I don't know if anyone's liked it yet. I'll like it myself. It's always fun to see how many likes we get on the stream, because if we get like 5 likes and I'm like, oh man, I got to do better. If we get 10 likes, I'm like, all right, that's cool. So I think the record I've ever got on a stream was like maybe 30, and I'd push for it the whole time. I was like, don't forget to like. But anyway, it's all good. I don't really care if you guys like it or not. I mean, I hope you enjoy it. I don't care if you press the like button. Does that make sense? Anyway, any questions? I'm going to scroll through here. That's my long story. I hope you guys are having an amazing new year, and hope you guys had a really good Christmas. So let's see if we got any questions. Beckham, that's super exciting about the wheel, man. Because I know you were asking about it last live, so I'm glad you finally got one. Yeah, Samuel, I know. Samuel, so guys, Samuel was an OG on the lives earlier, like months and months ago, and I used to do them a lot later, and then I switched to doing them in the mornings. And so anyway, now that this one's a little later, we got Samuel on here. So that's sick, man. Moondoggy says, yo, Holmes, how are you? What's up, man? I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for coming and hanging out on the live. Richard, guys, what's up, Richard? Richard said, awesome channel, first time on the live stream. Guys, I need you all to do me a huge favor. We got to type in the chat right here. Welcome, Richard. Okay, make Richard feel welcome. Richard, I'm glad you're hanging out with us. It's just I don't know. I have a lot of fun doing it, and I think a handful of people have fun hanging out on here. But really, the reason I do it is because I want you to be able to get answers for BMX, because there's a lot of confusing things. And so every week, I just answer questions. So if you have any questions, throw them in here. But I just saw a good question. Okay, Samuel, a different Samuel. This is not the same Samuel, but Samuel Schlegel. What do you think of the Sabrosa Letum 2022? Let's pull it up on the screen, because the 2021 Sabrosa Letum I really liked. We have a guy that is in the live sometimes named Brian. He's been trying to decide, I think, between the Kink Switch, the Cult Devotion, or the Sabrosa Letum. And Brian held out for a long time until Sabrosa released their 2022 line. And then he looked at it, he's like, I hate the color. So then now he's not thinking about the Letum. But in 2021, the Letum was probably one of the best street-specific bikes. The quality's there, right? Full chromoly frame, forks, and bars. It comes with a sprocket with a bash guard. It comes with pegs. It's got everything you need to ride street right out of the box, especially as a mid-level rider. There's a lot of street-specific bikes like the Sunday X that come with no pegs, right? And they're like, this is a street bike. And you're like, well, how is it a street bike without pegs? And sure, it's not hard to buy pegs and hub guards, but if you want 4 pegs and 4 hub guards, that's like $100 to $150. I feel like they should just include it with the bike, But that's just my pet peeve. I don't make bikes. I don't understand the struggle. But here we go. This is the Sabrosa Letum in stock right now on Dan's Comp. Look at that. So it's 20.75-inch top tube. Make sure that's the right size for you, Samuel. And I don't know, Brian, I don't know what Brian's on about. I really like this color. It's very unique. It is kind of weird. I guess they kept the white pegs that they had in 2021, but I like that fade. I think it's solid. I like the color, and I'm really nitpicky about colors. If you guys watch any of my reviews, I got in trouble for calling a bike tacky once, and I like this color. I extra like this color. Look at this. Red's my favorite color. This is dope. It does look kind of funny. Look how small the bars are. I bet they just look really small. They're probably not actually that small. How big are they? 9? Yeah, 9-inch rise. But anyway, see, this is important, guys. Double wall rims, okay? If you have single wall rims, they're going to bend. It just happens. Like, you can argue with me on it, but you're going to try tail whips before you're ready for tail whips. Your back wheel is going to hit the ground and it's going to bend. Okay. Full chromoly frame. Boom. 100% chromoly, full chromoly forks, full chromoly bars. This is what you need. And it is less expensive than the Sunday X. It's more expensive than the Colt Devotion, which is similar quality. The Colt Devotion is a 21-inch top tube with a really long chainstay. So that I recommend for people who are taller, you know, this one. But the Sprocket with the bash guard, like, this is very street specific. It's a solid bike. Like, look, what is the Sunday X? Look at this bad chicken. $660. Okay, full chromoly, dope. Wave down tube, extra dope. Full chromoly, full chromoly. Single wall. Single wall rims. No pegs, no hub guards. Stress me out. But anyway, I really like the Letum. I think it's a solid bike, and that's about it. That is about it. Samuel, have you done my free bike recommendation? If you have not, definitely do the free bike recommendation. See what I recommend you, because it mostly goes off your size. And a lot of people say, oh, well, quarter of an inch doesn't matter that much. You know, I think it really does, because God, I saw the best analogy on it. So when people say top tube size doesn't matter, it's like saying golf club length. Okay, golf club length is a really good one. Sure, you can golf with any size golf club. God, why can't I say that? You can golf with any size golf club that you want, but having the correct size golf club is going to make your progression a lot easier. And that's the same way with the bikes. Sure, you can ride a 20.00 inch top tube if you're 6'5", whatever. But riding a 21 or 21.25 is going to give you a lot more stability, and you're just going to feel a lot better on the bike. So that's how it is, you know? So anyway, make sure that you get the right size top tube, because it really, really does matter. A quarter of an inch matters. Half an inch extra matters. So that's my recommendation to you, Samuel. Anyway, that wasn't the question, but I do like the Sabrosa Letum. Just make sure it's the right size. Just that channel. Okay, Lucas, I see your question about the bike on the wall. I'm going to jump to that because I think it's going to be just a quicker answer. But basically, I went to Walmart. You can get a bike hook, and I have two actually. One is just a small one, and then I just screwed it into the wall. I don't even think I hit a stud, because the hook's kind of falling out. One day I'm going to be doing a live and the bike's just going to fall off the wall. But anyway, it's just a hook, and then you just screw it into the stud, screw it into the wall, and then hook your wheel around it, and then it's good. You can't even see the hook, but it's right by my, I'm trying to like put my mouse on it. It's right by my peg tire. It hooks the tire and the rim on there. So anyway, just that channel says, I've been having a lot of trouble lifting up my rear wheel, and I was just wondering if you have any tips or tricks for lifting the rear wheel by itself or in a bunny hop. Just that channel. I'm going to send you this. Now, be warned, okay? You are going to have to put in your email address to watch it. It's like a free training video that I did for it's essentially this exact same video for bunny hops that is inside of bike school. And let's see, should I give you, I'm gonna make you know what, just that channel. Yeah, just do, let's see, which one is it? This one. It's this one. Okay, hold on, let me send it to you. I gotta find the page. Give me one sec. Because anyway, this one, it's just a really, really in-depth video about how to bunny hop, but to make it easier to understand, because I understand bunny hops are confusing, I broke it down into different sections, and then I gave you 3 different drills to do. So these are 3 drills that you can do. Each drill focuses on a different part. The first drill focuses on initiating the bunny hop. The second one focuses on the actual pop, and the third one focuses on getting the back wheel up. And it sounds like that's where you are having problems. So I'm going to send this in the chat. Just let me find it. Give me 5 seconds. Okay, I'm almost here. I'm almost here. Free bunny hop. Okay, it's this video. And like I said, you will have to put in your email address. But if any of you guys are also having trouble with the bunny hop, I mean, check it out if you want. I think it's pretty solid. Jared saw it first because he's in bike school, but he really likes the bunny hop lesson. And like I said, it has 3 different drills, so that'll help you break it down. But so I'm not even going to go into it on the live. Just check out that video, and it's going to help you for sure. I know it's going to help you because it's very helpful. Oh, interesting. Samuel says, anybody know if it's possible to fix stripped cranks when you insert the pedals? So I imagine where the pedal screws in is stripped, and we want to know how to fix that. So if you guys have any advice, throw it in there because I have, I mean, dude, just get a new, hopefully it's one crank arm. You can usually get replacement crank arms for pretty cheap, but I think that's the best way to go. Anytime you pull out a tap and die set, you're just gonna, is that what it's called? Tap and die? The set to rethread things, you're just gonna be having a bad day. 10 out of 10, do not recommend. So I would say get a new crank arm, but that's just me. So if anyone has better advice, let Samuel know. Does this light look okay? I feel like I'm really dark on one side. Oh well. Jared says, when you guys going to be in Phoenix? The plan, Jared, is the 17th, the week of the 17th. So let's see. Yeah, the week of the 17th. I will definitely hit you up. I'm going to try and go earlier and just spend some time riding and hanging out because I have a lot of friends there. And so I will hit you up when Nick and I are there. I mean, we'll see. I mean, if you want to come hang out, but when we go, especially the last time and this time, we want to film twice as much as we did. And so it's going to be a really dude, it was such a stressful time. We'd wake up, we'd go all the way to Chandler, we'd film for 4 or 5 hours, we'd come back, we'd sort things, we'd edit things, and then it just restart. So I'll try and catch up with you for sure before the 17th. And if we have like an off day where we're not really doing anything, we'll definitely hit you up to come ride and hang out. That'd be really fun. Antonio says, what's a good handlebar to buy? Antonio, it really depends on preference. I ride the Shadow, or no. I ride the Colony Biomech bars, the Anthony Napolitan bars, but I've had Stranger Haze. I've had S&M Hoders. I've had a million different kinds of bars, and some of them you get and you just hate them. Some of them you get and you just love them. If you are okay with the ones that you have, keep them, stick with it. There's nothing wrong with that. If you just want some to change around, I would really recommend messing around with the specs a little bit. So you could get a taller rise bar, you could get narrower width, you could get wider, you could get more upsweep, you could get more back sweep, and just look at your current specs and then figure out what each thing does. So like, what does upsweep do? What does back sweep do? And say, hey, I think I would really enjoy having 4 degrees of upsweep instead of 1 degree of upsweep because maybe it'll take some pressure off my wrists. And so then upgrade your bars with that newer spec and see if you actually like it. That's really the best way to go when you're upgrading parts, especially bars, because you can get narrower bars are going to make bars easier, but they're going to make it your bike feel a lot more twitchy. Wider bars are going to give you a lot more control and they're going to feel a lot more stable, but bar spins aren't going to be very fun. So think about the different specs and then kind of upgrade from there. I think for the most part, bars are about the same. Like most of them are manufactured in the same place. They're going to last pretty much the same. So the only difference there is specs and then weight. I think Shadow has featherweight bars that are really light, and maybe that's what you want to go for. I don't know. It all depends what you want to get out of it. But as far as just recommending bars, it's kind of hard to do because the specs are different for everybody. My throat hurts like I've been talking too much. Oh, it's because on my drive. So last night, like I left Arizona at what, midnight or something, or 11, and it was like I listened to an audiobook most of the way, and then the last hour was all car karaoke. So that's probably why my throat hurts from car karaoke. Lucas says also, what are your thoughts on the Cult too short frame geometry and overall quality? I've got to look at the geometry again because I think if I remember, it's like something crazy like a 12.5-inch chainstay. But let me double check. Colt too short. Quality wise, I think Colt, their aftermarket parts are probably better than their complete bikes. But that's just speculation. Oh, it's only a 12.8 chainstay, which is still pretty small. It's a steep head tube angle. That's interesting. So yeah, basically it's got a tall bottom bracket. This is something that I've really overlooked in the past, Lucas, but the too short frame, here, I'll just share it on the screen. Nope. We can look at it together. Hold on. Okay. So anyway, what's interesting about this is the standover height, and that's something that our bottom bracket height is 11.7, and oh, you can't even see it because the comment's in the way. 11.7 right there, and I think 11.6 is normal. So 11.7 is a little bit taller, and 11.5 is a little bit lower, and I've learned recently that the taller the bottom bracket height is, the more responsive the bike's going to feel. So you can also balance that out with like head tube angle and things like that. It's really interesting. But anyway, this is a little bit taller than normal. So you're going to get that mixed with the responsive 75.5-degree inch head tube angle and the short chainstay. It's just going to feel very responsive. Look, super short, quick, responsive back end. And I think the quality is great. I've never ridden a Cult frame. I've ridden Fit frames, Colony frames, Mutiny frames. That's crazy. But I've never ridden a Cult frame, and so I don't really know quality wise, like for sure. But everyone that I know that does ride them has never had an issue. My friend Daniel in Wyoming loves this frame. He got it. It's been his favorite frame ever because he loves Sean Ricani, and he absolutely loves it. And he shreds, and he's never had an issue with it. So that's all I can really tell you on that frame, man. I'm sorry I'm not super helpful there, but that's all I got. Hey, what's up, Splits? How you doing, man? Um, oh, Samuel, this is an interesting question. So Samuel says, "What is your New Year's resolution?" Um, well, I want 10,000 subs on the Bike School YouTube channel. Obviously, want 10,000 on this one. This one's going to happen soon. Hopefully, we can have the 10,000 Bike School subs by the end of the year. But I don't really do too much with New Year's resolutions because I think that a lot of people have it never lasts, right? And a lot of people look at like the start of a week. It's like, cool, I messed up my workout routine. I'm going to start on Monday. But it's like, why don't you just start tomorrow? We just prolong things until it's a convenient time to start. And by doing that, we're allowing ourselves to slip up and essentially be lazy for the 3 days. Or let's say we mess up our resolution mid-month or mid-year, and then we say, oh, I'm going to wait till 2023 restart. We're letting ourselves be lazy that whole time. And so I don't know. New Year's is cool because it's like cool and New Year's starting and stuff like that. As far as resolutions, I try and just have um, weekly and quarterly goals that I work towards, and then 5, 10 year goals that I'm working towards. Like this thing, I guess this is something that I do every year, and it's essentially a comparison with like Henry Ford, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, Theodore Roosevelt, all these people, and how good they are in these different characteristics. Jesse James is on here, and he wasn't very good at certain things, but he was really good at some things. And then I have me over here on the right, and how I think I rank in things like imagination, enthusiasm, self-control, definite chief aim, self-confidence, cooperation, concentration, all these things. And so hopefully every year my scores go up, and it's a good reminder to work on different things. But now, I said I didn't really have a New Year's resolution, but if I did, I'm going to try and listen to 100 more audiobooks this year. So I did it in 2019. I only got about 92 audiobooks in business and personal development. And then 2020, let's see. No, I did it in 2020. I spent last year pretty much rereading all the books that I have. Look at all these. Can you see all these? These are all audiobooks that I listened to. And let me tell you how expensive that was. It was crazy expensive because they're like 15 to 20 bucks a pop. But in 2022, I want to do another 100. That's kind of my main goal. And that's about it. So cool. That's a cool question. What about you guys? I want to know your resolutions. Is it bike related? Is it not bike related? Like, what do you guys imagine this? Okay, this live stream is going to be happening New Year's Eve 2022. So a year from now, we're going to be doing this live stream. Are any of you guys going to still be in this live stream? I don't know, but if you are, that'd be really cool because then I'm going to say, what were your guys' resolutions and did you do them? And then we can see if any of you guys did it, see if I did mine, see if I read my 100 books or not. But let me know. I'm really curious. Good question, Samuel. Thank you. Beckham says, I want new cranks. Should I get the BSD XL Substance cranks or the Odyssey Thunderbolts? Personally, I'm going to say Odyssey Thunderbolts. They're both really good companies and they're both really good cranks, but Thunderbolts have lifetime warranty. Do the BSD have lifetime warranty? I don't know. What do you guys think? Brendan says, hey man, in 29-inch BMXs, which frame is better, aluminum or chromoly? Brandon, I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know anything about bikes over 20 inches. Like people will ask about 22-inch bikes, and I'm like, I don't know. 26, I don't know. 29, I have no idea. Chromoly is better quality wise. Aluminum's a lot lighter. So I'd say this is again, I don't know 100%, but I would say if you are like a heavier guy and you're going to be jumping it off curbs, maybe trying 180s, you're going to be doing things like that, go with the chromoly because that strength is going to be a lot better than any potential weight saving. But if you just kind of want to cruise, you want a nice, comfortable, light bike, then go with aluminum. But that's really all I got. Raider Al, what's up, Raider Al? Raider Al's catching the New Year's live. Yep, guys, we're gonna start. Wouldn't it be cool if I live streamed until New Year? Because I'm not really gonna do anything tonight. I'm just gonna film and probably edit. I should get champagne or something. I don't know. I was just telling you guys how I'm not a big New Year's person, but what do I know? Anyway, Raider Al, well, what have you been up to, man? What have you been up to? Eat My Salt made it back to another live stream. I was just editing the live stream from last week, and how crazy is it? We did a New Year's Eve stream and we did a Christmas Eve stream. That's crazy. No way, Jared. Jared's what? Jared, if she was just your girlfriend, I would definitely say after that, man, you need to put a ring on it. But she was already the wife. That's the highest promotion she could have achieved. But that's awesome. She's a keeper. She bought you a kink switch, man. That is sick. You're gonna love it. That's so exciting. Hey, okay, so Richard is a 34-year-old guy. He's getting back into BMX and he's running a cassette, but he's thinking about a free coaster. Any cons? He wants the planetary. So, Richard, this is really good. First of all, any of you guys in the chat who have experience with free coasters and are over 30, chime in here and let Richard know what you think, what your personal thoughts are on this situation, because here's mine. I love free coasters. I love the idea of going backwards without pedaling. I think that's amazing. It opens up the door for a lot of tricks, half cab tricks, things like that. But I cannot stand the slack. And what I mean by slack, Richard, is a normal free coaster, when you pedal forward, it's got slack. And while that slack is happening, you're pedaling, but the wheel's not actually moving. So sometimes you'll pedal really hard and your knee will hit the stem. Now you'll get used to it. But when you're doing that pedaling and cranking in the slack, you're turning out the clutch, which is allowing the cassette to engage. But I can't stand that because I just like to have that instant engagement. Manual 180s, I like to crank a little bit on the 180, things like that. And I can't really get used to that. I don't like it. But the planetary doesn't have the slack, so that's something that you're bypassing. And I would run a planetary way before a free coaster. So Con wise, the only con I can think of is that as soon as you start rolling backwards on a planetary, like as soon as that thing starts moving backwards, you don't really have pedal pressure. So let's say you go a tire tap, most people alley oop a little bit, pedal pressure, and then drop back in. If you're on a planetary free coaster, you go to tire tap and that wheel moves just a little bit that way. You're not going to have any pedal pressure to save it. Same thing with a half cab, you're rolling backwards, you can't pedal pressure to half cab. So there's a handful of different things there that you won't get, but I don't think there's too many cons, especially with a planetary. So just that channel says free coasters require more maintenance and cost a lot more. That's a really good point, especially like the Clutch V2. But again, if you're getting the planetary, from what I understand, there's not that much maintenance with the planetary system, because it's a what is it? It's a fine like gear system almost that catches, and then when the slack's off, it's just like this, where a clutch, you've got to grease it, and you've got the balls that hold the is it the clutch? I don't know. Anyway, I don't think there's that much maintenance, but I could be wrong. Could be totally wrong. Sean says, why don't you ride a dark wave? Sean, that is on my list, actually. That'll be, see that thing behind me? That thing? That thing. That'll be a dark wave build for sure. It's gonna be a dark wave frame, Odyssey cranks, Odyssey forks. I really want Stranger Haze bars again. Sunday freeze stem, best stem ever made. Um, yeah, so eventually that'll be the thing. It'd be cool to do that for the new year. Just drop a couple thousand on a bike and make a video about it. But I don't really. My bike is just fine, so I don't need to upgrade it yet. But I will eventually. I promise. I will eventually. And I'm right now. I'm 99% sure it's going to be a dark wave. All right, and here's another instance where I'm wrong. I just said the clutch requires a lot of maintenance, and then Eat My Salt says my Odyssey clutch requires virtually no maintenance. Just squirt some grease through the grub screw, and you're done. So I was wrong. I lied. I'm sorry. Oh, Samuel, this is interesting. Samuel says, any tip to progress for messed up footed people? Is it worth switching my front foot? Um, I, I can't really speak on it because I'm normal footed. I learned fakies the wrong way and I fixed it because I got made fun of so much. So it's hard for me to say. Now, Nick is goofy footed. So this would be a really good question in the bike school live. Samuel, we do those every single Friday. And here, I'm gonna go send you the bike school YouTube just because I think you should check it out. And we do our bike school lives, like I said, on Monday, but we do them pretty late at night. So with your time difference, I'm sure you'll be able to come by and watch it. So like I said, Nick's a professional, goofy-footed mountain bike rider. So Samuel, go there and subscribe if you want, or just like, I don't know, watch one video and I think YouTube will suggest more to you. But anyway, he can go on about that. He has had like, there's with goofy footedness, there's some tricks that are a lot harder, but also there's some pros and cons. So certain like 360 down whip is going to be a lot easier than it is for me being regular footed. So there's definitely, like I said, pros and cons to it. So, but that's a great question for Nick. Jared, I'm glad you liked the bunny hop lesson. I wasn't sure, honestly, guys, if you guys watched that, like I was really worried that it was too dense and way too much information. But everyone gave good feedback, so I'm like, hey, I guess it's not too dense, so that's good. Yeah, Sean's saying get out the tap and die set, and dude, and highlight the words if you use it right, because that is the key. Sometimes I tried to I had a car that had a anyway, they stripped the spark plug before I bought it, and so then they had that thing that screws into the spark plug and then screws into the block that you tap in, and it kept coming out too. And I was like, if I ever have to like rethread dude, I would never, I couldn't even imagine. Um, could not even imagine. That's tough work. So Richard's thinking about the revolution or the colony swarm after watching my video on it. That's cool. Um, yeah, and then I saw Eat My Salt talked about Brett Moore's The Planetary, the Alienation Venus. Honestly, so guys, the first thing, Free Night came out with a free coaster. Let's see what a Free Night, and this was years ago. They came out with this. They're just some guys in a different country. I can't remember what country. They are the first people to do this, and then yeah, it was BSD next. BSD partnered with them, and they essentially, I think they're paying for the patent. Yeah, it's patented technology. So every um, planetary free coaster system came from these guys right here, the Free Night, but they're such a small scale that they're not able to make enough hubs to get them out to people. So they teamed up with BSD. BSD made the Revolution, and then they came up with the Venus, right? They worked closely. Brant was either did get his hands on a Free Night or was trying to get his hands on a Free Night. His partnership with Alienation led to the Venus, and then Colony obviously said, hey, this is a pretty good idea, and then they jumped on. So but yeah, you can't, it's out of stock and unavailable from Free Night. But anyway, they're all, as far as I know, they're all pretty much the same. I think the Swarm has a few small technological advances, but what's really exciting about this is that, say, 10 years from now, the planetary system is going to be just absolutely unrecognizable. It's like the very first free coaster from years ago is way different than the free coasters we have now, because more companies got into it, started making it, started more competition, and it's gonna, the same thing's going to happen with the with the planetary stuff. More competition, everyone's going to be making planetary, and a lot of new um, advancements are going to come from it. So, but anyway, moral of the story, I think they're mostly very similar. They're all very similar. Yeah, so just like eat my salt, like I should read his comments before I go on my rants. He says they all have the same internals, just different hub shells. Yeah, they're all pretty much the same. Brian says, just bought a cult devotion based on the free awesome recommendation. It will be here Monday. I'm only 5'7", but I'm a grown man. Is this bike too big? Brian, it's going to be on the bigger side for sure, but it's not necessarily, it's definitely not the end of the world. What you're going to notice with it is, because of especially the bigger chainstay, you're going to have a lot more stable and a lot more of a controlled ride. So Colt, all of Colt's chainstays are that really long 13.65, because they want to give newer riders the ability to be on the bike and feel control. So when you're on something like a 12.75-inch chainstay, it's going to be really twitchy and really responsive. And for a lot of people who are new to the sport, it's going to be hard for them to adjust to that and feel comfortable on it. So the bigger geometry on the Devotion, in my opinion, is going to work good for you. It's because it's going to feel more stable. So as you progress from there, you can make different changes if you want, like a stem with a shorter reach to pull your bars closer to you, or you can slam the wheel, you can get shorter cranks, you could do a lot of different things, but I don't think it's going to be too big. You'll have to feel it out. And I mean, it's very possible that it'll feel too big for you. But I know guys who are smaller that also ride a 21-inch top tube. And I know guys who are really big who ride a 20, a 20.5. I rode a 20.7. It was not my thing. I could double whip, but I could not, like, I didn't feel comfortable on the bike. You know what I mean? So there's always different sacrifices, but I think it's going to be fine for you, Brian. This is a fun question. Um, would you ride a gold frame? No. Just kidding. I'd probably ride a gold frame. I don't see anything wrong with it. Unless, like, I see, when I was in England, I took my bike everywhere. So I'd have to go to the store and I'd have to leave my bike outside. I'd always lock it up, but it's like my bike's just black. It's pretty basic, pretty boring. I don't, and for some reason, I've left it in my car, like, in a lot of different places, never been stolen, knock on wood. But I think if I had a bright gold bike, that's just like asking like, hey, steal me, you know? So I don't know. I don't know why I'd put myself through that. Also, Jared started an exercise routine, 3 sets of 35 jackknife squats today. Is that with Tyler? No, yeah, Tyler, Jared. Who's doing Tyler's thing? I know said he had one free spot that he offered out to our bike school members. And was it you? Did you get the free spot? I wonder who it was. That's exciting though. Dude, the workout routine is something that's going to go a long way, especially if you stick to it. He says, what kinds of books do you read? Let's see. The best one. Look, if any of you guys want book recommendations, like after listening to so many different ones, I have a lot of fun recommending 4 or 5 different ones to people who I feel like are like, I don't know, books seem to come at you at a certain point in life. Like I read some way before I needed to, and then I read one book that kind of led to another book, and then like things started making sense. But like personal development, Think and Grow Rich, hands down one of the best. Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. I'm looking at him right now. Um, there's a book about the CEO of Walt Disney. That one is really good. The Four Agreements, amazing. And these are all like more spiritual personal development ones than, so anyway, it was a split between like that kind of book and then also just different business, small startup type stuff like that. So yeah, just Pat Valuetainment. If you guys ever heard of Valuetainment, it's a different YouTube channel, but he has a list of a ton of books to read. And so I pretty much took that list, listened to a bunch of them, and then like went to those books and went to recommended books based on that. And that's how I came across them all. But it's good because I spend a lot of time in my car doing dishes. You can just listen to the books, and some of them are very boring and totally a waste of money, but some of them are definitely worth the money. All right. How many of you guys ride alone? Have you guys ever experienced that where you just want to go out, you want to ride, and you text your friend says, "No, I don't want to ride with you." That's not a very fun thing. So, but a lot of times you end up riding alone. And so Samuel's wondering, what are some tips on riding alone? No skate park near him and nobody that rides. Um, I know there's a handful of you guys in the same situation. Um, so let Samuel know, but my 2 cents, Samuel, is what I end up doing is just trying to go out to film. If I want to put something, say, up on Instagram, or I just want to challenge myself a little bit, I'll just set a little goal and go out and film some stuff. Because when you don't have a goal like that and you don't have a friend to push you, usually you just go out and you get nothing accomplished. So if you set a couple goals, you say, hey, I really want to work on 360s today. I'm going to film 25 different 360s. And that's a lot, but then go out and film 25 different 360s, and you're going to you're going to be sweating. You're going to have a good session because of that. Whereas if you just said, oh, I'm going to go ride, you might not get anything done. So that's kind of my tip. Wow. So, Samuel, it is already New Year's, and somebody else said that they are minutes away from New Year's. It is only 5 o'clock my time, so I've got 7 hours until New Year's. But so Samuel technically is a time traveler. That's crazy, Samuel. Lucas says, yo, Doug, Soundwave versus Darkwave and why? This would be a really fun video to do like an in-depth comparison on. But just right off the top of my head, the biggest difference is I think the Soundwave frame is slightly better quality than the Darkwave. I could be wrong, but I think I can't remember what it was. Either the Soundwave had the 41 thermal technology and the Darkwave didn't. The Soundwave had a lifetime warranty, the Darkwave, one of the two. I can't remember off the top of my head. But the biggest difference is there, if we're talking about completes and not the frame, is the geometry. The Darkwave has a sprocket with a bash guard, and I don't think the Soundwave does. It has steeper forks. It has a longer top tube. It has a Yeah, just the geometries, as right off the top of my head, I think that's about it. But like I said, this would be a really fun one to go in depth on and piece it apart. Like I did a Soundwave versus Envy video, and I pulled every single part and I counted like how much it would be if it was priced out separately. Like if you bought the Envy frame, the Envy forks, the cranks, all these things, like boop 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 boop, and then how much the Soundwave was, and then saw this one was actually a lot cheaper, and it was also cheaper to build. This one's a lot more expensive and more expensive to build. So that'd be a fun video to do. All right, Raider Al's been working. He's also been putting in sessions in the garage. Loving bike school. Awesome. I was going to ask about the Letum, but you already answered. My last year's model still holding up well. Raider Al, I'm glad you love bike school. Dude, I love to hear that when people are getting value out of it, because it's like, for me, seeing the progression is the coolest thing ever, because I love to look back and watch my progression, but then I get to do it with all of our bike school members. Like, whoa, you guys were doing this last month and now you're doing this. It's amazing. And I'm glad the Letum's still holding up. I think I can't remember, but I think I helped you get that, like recommended it. We talked about it. And that's good. That's good that it's still holding up. Are you going to get a 2022 Letum, or are you going to upgrade the Letum that you have? Salvador Blanco, what's up, man? Happy New Year. Is it already New Year where you're at over in you're in Japan, right? Are you still in Japan? Remind me if I'm wrong. I think you're in Japan. Yeah, here it's already 2022. All right, JPO Gave says, what are your thoughts on the Nova for a beginner? And then Jared says, I got my daughter a Nova. I think the Nova is going to be just fine for a beginner. It also depends, though, what you want to get out of the sport eventually. Like, what are your goals with BMX, all that good stuff. There are, here, go download this. I'm just going to send the link. JPO Gabe. I'm just going to call you Gabe. Whoa, this is crazy. Anyway, I want to send you here this. You're gonna have to put in your email address, but it's for the score sheet. And basically, the We the People Nova's on there. There's a lot of bikes on there, and they all have different scores. They have a score in quality, they have a score in park, street, dirt, and then a value score. And that tells you how good of a value the bike is based on the price, based on the quality. And so, best thing for you, Gabe, is to go look at that score sheet, look at the Nova, look at the price, look at the value score, and say, okay, this looks pretty solid. But then see if there's any other bikes that are scored higher in what you want to do. So maybe you like to ride park more than street, and you want a bike that scores pretty high in park with a similar value score. The sheet has so much information, and I think that's going to really help you out. But long story short, I think the Nova is a solid bike for a beginner, because as a beginner, you just need a bike that you can get on reliably and ride while you work on different tricks. So Vic says, what's up, Doug? We got to go riding when I'm in your neck of the woods. Sure, man. Hit me up. I'm in New Mexico. So if you're ever in New Mexico, we've got one really bad skate park, but El Paso has a lot of good skate parks. So that would be fun. I'd love to ride with all of you guys. What's up, Aaron? How you doing, man? Dude, I have not seen you in 1,000 years. Aaron, you see that picture, his profile picture? That is in Las Cruces. That is at the skate park I ride at. When I was in high school, Aaron and I would always ride. He's a skater, but dude, yeah, that's awesome. I'm not, as far as I know, I'm not doing anything tonight. I'm just gonna hang out, and I need to film some videos, and that's it. That is all. So yeah, not too much going on. Sean says, you do dishes in your car. Sean, I'm not sure. Sean, are you talking to me? I've done dishes in my car. Dude, I need to finish editing these videos. My trip from here up to Montana and then to Phoenix and over, I've got probably a third of it edited. I need to edit the rest, and then I'll drip them out. But there was one point where I did dishes in my car because because I needed to, and didn't like I wasn't staying. I was sleeping in my car. It was so much fun. Oh my god, I want to do that again. I loved it. Cesar. What's up, Cesar? Welcome to the live stream, man. He says, Happy New Year's, Doug. Big fan from Italy. I'm about to, I think he means buy the Heaven's Gate frame. What do you think about the frame? That's Brandon Began's frame. I think that's awesome. And like I said before, I think Colt makes really solid aftermarket frames. Granted, never ridden any of them, so I don't know that for sure. But the friends that I do know that are riding Colt frames have never had any issues with them. And Cesar, I'm going to assume that you've looked at the specs and the geometry, or the geometry, which I guess are specs. Anyway, I'm assuming that you've looked at the geometry and that you like how it's going to feel and that it's the right top tube size for you. But I think quality wise, Colt frames are solid. So, dude, welcome. Happy New Year's in Italy, man. Sean just rode an hour before and now he's watching the live stream, but he also rode with a broken finger and a broken rib. Sean, you are crazy, man. I don't know if I've ever I don't know if I've ever rode with a broken bone. And if I have, I didn't know it was broken, but I probably thought it was. David Dennis. What's up, David? David made it to another live. How's it going? How is it going, David? He got off the wide Rob Wise frame and ordered a Hoffman Wade frame. You know, I've never actually even looked at the Hoffman Wade frame, but I'm going to now because I'm actually really curious. I love Morgan Wade. Let's look at it. I bet it's got a really long chainstay. That's going to be my guess. Oh boy, does it ever. It looks pretty dope. It looks just like you'd imagine Morgan Wade would look. You know, if Morgan Wade was a frame, it would look like this frame. Here, I'm going to put it on the screen so you guys can look at it. Do you guys really care? I hope you do, but if not, it's okay. I care. This thing's pretty sick. Hello. Hold on. Now what is go? I always have it set up to like screen share, but then it never works like it's supposed to. Okay, we're looking at it on sourcebmx.com. They say, hey, we think you're browsing from the United Kingdom. Do I look like I'm from the United Kingdom? Come on. Anyway, look at this. You guys know who Morgan Wade is. This looks just like if Morgan Wade was a frame, this would be him. Dark army green. It's got those built-in chain tensioners. It's got a star up front. This is sick. And look at this chainstay. 13.74, even longer than the Cult Devotion. Amazing. Amazing. David, I hope you like the frame. You'll have to keep us updated, man. Next week or next month, we're going to say, hey, David, how do you like the frame? And you've got to update us, okay? Jared, you've been looking for a house for a long time, and I'm so stoked that you finally got one. That's awesome, man. Zachary says, is the Kink Whip a good bike? Zachary, where have you been? I think I have 44 videos about the Kink Whip. Yeah, so basically this is my thought. I'm sure there's a handful of you guys in here that have a Kink Whip, but I think the Kink Whip is the best bike for the value. I was talking about that score sheet earlier. If you guys look at the score sheet, the Kink Whip scores very, very high in the value score, like way higher than any other bike, and it's only $500 because it has the full chromoly frame, forks, and bars. Now, right behind it is the Colt Control. The Colt Control is really impressive also, but the Whip is just a teeny tiny bit better because it has two double wall rims instead of one. But Zachary, it only comes in a 20.5 or a 21-inch top tube. So you need to just make sure that those are good sizes for you. I know some people who really want the Kink Whip, but they're better off with the 20.75, so they get the Kink Switch or the Sprosoletum or something like that. But value-wise, the Kink Whip is amazing. Now look, David says the Whip is awesome. And David has the Whip, so that's cool. No peeing in bottles, actually, Sean. No, I'll do my dishes in my car, sleep in my car, shower at Planet Fitness. I got a gym membership just for that, but no peeing in bottles. That's too weird. Like there's bathrooms literally everywhere. I wouldn't pee in a bottle. Yeah, okay, David did some light riding today. David, didn't you hurt, was it your elbow? Correct me if I'm wrong. You got hurt. I can't remember what. God, it's so cool. Like I feel like I know you guys pretty well. You know what I mean? But I cannot remember what you hurt. What did you hurt, David? Anyway, I'm glad you're back on the bike. Dirt Racer X, what's up, man? It's so good to see you over here in the live. It's been a while, and Happy New Year! Happy New Year, Dirt Racer. Oh no, I just got scrolled. See, I think I'm caught up on comments just about, and we're at about an hour, so that's cool. Good. Okay, David's gonna get it on Monday. That's good. That's good. Shane Nugent. Shane, that's a cool name. I like that name. Colony Sweet Tooth Pro Complete for Street. Dude, I am very surprised that I haven't talked about the Sweet Tooth. But let's pull it up because I don't know everything about it because I haven't really even looked at it. Sweet Tooth, it's so hard to type and talk at the same time. Wait, not frame. We want to do complete bike. But anyway, it's good. It's dude, quality wise, amazing. It's an amazing bike. Street wise, I think it's going to be a little bit geared more towards park. If you like responsive park, just because of the lower standover. What's the standover? 8.5, yeah. But see, here's the thing. So it's 8.5-inch standover, which is lower. This is going to make tail whips easier, things like that. But if you guys watch Alex Heim ride, he loves foot jam whips, right? And that 8.5-inch standover drops it half an inch, so it's easier for his foot to get over and get around it. Quality, it's very good quality, and I think it even comes with hub guards. Oh my God, look at that. Um, 2 hub guards, but you'd have to put some pegs on it. It's going to be pretty responsive, but not super crazy. It's a good bike. It's got Wasp hubs. Yeah, I'm going to do a review on this eventually. I did most of Colony bikes, but I never got to the Sweet Tooth because I feel like it was too expensive. And that not a lot of people were going to end up with the Sweet Tooth. But you're looking at the Sweet Tooth, so I guess I'm wrong. So I'll have to do that. Brian got his bike from Albies because they were the only place that had it. I have a friend that knows the owner at Albies, Flip, I guess. His name is Flip. Albies is solid. I've ordered from Albies a handful of times and I love them. It's trusted, reliable. And now, guys, we got to revisit the Time to Shine incident because one day we had, let's see, we had a guy ask about Time to Shine because he ordered a bike and then he like never got it. And then I was like, oh, Time to Shine's kind of scammy. Then we made a video about it. And it's fun to read all the comments because 90% of people had the same thing. They bought a bike, never got tracking info. They never sent the bike. Like it was a big disaster. But then there's a handful of people that had a good experience with them. So it'd be fun to talk about it from both sides now, do another video on it. But anyway, Albies, never been a question about Albies. Yeah, Aaron, whenever you go out and ride or skate, hit me up so I can go ride with you. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. You got to get back out on the board now. The dad life is busy, huh? And David likes Albies behind Dan's. I think Sean's calling me 6'13". That'd be crazy if you were 6'13". That's not even a real number. All right, guys, we are right at an hour. So any last minute questions? Any last minute questions? Otherwise, I'm going to wait for 5 seconds. Oh, here's what we're going to do, actually. Oh my God. Stop it. Stop it. That is annoying. Look at that. I clicked on a video because I wanted to show you guys this video, right? And then it YouTube started playing an ad. I have YouTube Premium. It shouldn't be playing an ad, but I was on the bike school account. And then I exited it, and then it kept playing. Ew! I just spit all over. Ugh. This is what I want you guys to do next, okay? Because we just put out. You guys probably saw it. But I just put out a new video on bike school this morning on the YouTube channel. It is about manuals. So who here is working on manuals and struggling with manuals? Anybody? Anybody at all? Anybody? Anyway, this video is all about manuals. It's 8 minutes and 50 seconds. If you skip to the end, you can see me do a really long manual and then crash on the manual. And I also have I didn't sleep. Like, I remember I went to the park probably at 7 because I literally did not sleep. And I was like, I want to film this video. It's a terrible idea. I look super tired. But check that out because we just check it out. Okay. But the moral of the video, this is what I was explaining in the video. And when I watched it, I was like, it makes sense, but I feel like I need to elaborate a little more. There's 3 things that go into a manual, right? When you go into a manual, you pull your arms back, right? Not really, right? People think they do. You bend your knees or you extend your knees, and then you throw your weight back. Like, that's pretty much the 3 things of getting into the manual. And my argument here is that a lot of people try the manual and they grab a bunch of different pieces of that. So they'll throw their weight back to get into the manual, and then they'll pull their arms up, or they'll throw their weight back and get into the manual, and they'll keep their legs bent or whatever. And the argument is, if you keep your arms straight or in the exact same position, if you keep your knees in the same position when you get into the manual, okay, then all you're messing with is the weight transfer. How hard are you transferring weight down and backwards to get into the manual? Because then when you're doing it in the exact same way and then just messing with the weight transfer, you can get into that balance point a lot more consistently. Now, once you're into the balance point, you use your knees and your hip movement to control it, and then your arms to save it. But when you're getting into it, you should only be using your weight transfer, and the amount of force you put back into the weight transfer should be the only variable. But anyway, it's a fun video, and I think it will help you guys out a lot. I don't know. I look really tired. I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, oh my God. But anyway, let's see. Did we have any last minute questions? Looks like everyone got some working on manuals. So that's good. That's good. You guys will like the video for sure. Jared says 2-hour stream. No way. I love you guys, but not today. I think I'm going to go get some food. No, I got these. So ramen sold out everywhere at Walmart. You guys, at least my Walmarts, ramen sold out. And I found these, like, it's ramen, but it says army meal packs. It's freaking ramen with like soup flavoring. But anyway, that's what I had this morning. Probably won't have that again. So, but anyway, we're gonna eat some food, and I've got to film a lot of videos for a product I'm working on. You guys will hear about it for sure when I'm finished with everything. But David says, what if you have T-Rex arms? Now, this is interesting, guys. What do you think a T-Rex would look like trying to manual a bike? There's a clip in there, David, where I was like, don't pull up your arms. And then I did a manual with my arms, and like the bike is literally straight up and down. And like, I'm also straight up and down because my arms are pulled in like this. And I guess that's how it would look like with a T-Rex. It'd just be straight up and down, which is a bad idea. So don't do that. Don't manual like that. Okay, cool. No more questions. We're at 1 hour and 4 minutes. We are not going to 2 hours, but Jared, I might play some BMX Street tonight. I might. I don't know, but I might. Okay, so if I do, you guys will get a bonus live while I play some BMX video games. I'm still bad at it, but we're getting much better. So anyway, guys, happy New Year. Thank you so much for hanging out. Go watch that bike school video, and then we'll do a bike school live Monday evening. So if you guys want to hang out even more, come hang out Monday evening. But I really hope you guys have a good new year. Start 22 off with a bang, and we will see you next time.